As God had promised, the children of Israel began to strike fear into the hearts of their enemies. In this week's Parsha Balak, we witness Israel's approach to the Promised Land from the perspective of the surrounding nations. After Israel defeats the Amorite kings Sichon and Og and takes possession of their cities and lands, Balak, king of Moab, next in Israel's path, is gripped by dread. Fearing what Israel might do to him, he decides to act. Balak sends messengers to Bilam, the renowned sorcerer, requesting his help to curse Israel in hopes of driving them away. That night, Bilam seeks permission from God to go with the messengers, but God refuses, declaring that Israel is a blessed nation. Undeterred, Balak sends a second delegation, more distinguished and persuasive than the first. Once again, Bilam consults with God, and this time God grants permission, but only on the condition that Bilam speaks solely the words God places in his mouth. Yet immediately afterward, the Torah tells us that God becomes angry with Bilam for going back with Balak's messengers. This raises a perplexing question. If God just gave Bilam permission to go, why is God now upset that he went? The Vilna Gaon offers a subtle and insightful answer. He notes two Hebrew words that describe the act of accompanying someone, et and im. The word et implies going alongside someone, but independently, present yet not aligned. In contrast, im suggests full partnership, walking together with shared purpose. According to the Vilna Gaon, whenever God permits Bilam to go, he uses some variant of the word et, signaling that Bilam may accompany the delegation, but must remain detached and purely observant. Bilam, however, chooses to go with them, aligning himself fully with their agenda. In that moment, he crosses a subtle but crucial boundary. This interpretation illuminates much of the narrative's tension. However, even without focusing on the Hebrew grammar, the plain text supports this idea. Ramban notes that when God permits Bilam to go, he clearly stipulates that Bilam may speak only as commanded. Yet when Bilam sets out the next morning, he says nothing of this divine constraint to Balak's messengers. His silence gives the impression that God has given him carte blanche. Through that omission, Bilam misrepresents his mission. He allows Balak's messengers to assume he is now fully aligned with their goals, willing and able to curse Israel. It appears to all that the prestige of a more respected delegation and the promise of even greater reward succeeded in pulling Bilam deeper into Balak's sphere. It even seemed to Balak's messengers that perhaps God himself was now in their pocket. The Midrash teaches that when a person insists on following a certain path, God may ultimately let him go that way, regardless of the consequences. In Bilam's case, the issue wasn't merely that he went, it was that he misrepresented God's will, attempting to bend God's instruction toward his own agenda. Man did not create God, man was created by God. By his actions, Bilam missed his own opportunity to sanctify God's name before Balak and his dignitaries. In the end, God's will shone through, not because of Bilam's actions, but despite them. Shabbat Shalom.